But something that wasn't a pleasure, something that irks me still to this day, 3-4 days removed, is that VAR decision against the Wolves in the FA Cup match against Liverpool. Like, I've had VAR rants already on this podcast, and you could search it up probably on YouTube or on wherever you listen to your podcast. I've ranted about VAR, and I haven't done one in a while, but it's back. Like, the ineptitude and what seems like blatant corruption is insane. Like, people were saying, like, the jokes that were running around when VAR came around was, rip Real Madrid, rip whichever big team you didn't like. Those were the jokes that were being run around. Like, rip Barcelona, rip Real Madrid, rip Manchester United, City, whoever was the big team in your league. Everyone was like, rip. Like, finally we have technology in the world of football. The transparency is going to be great. There's not going to be no more swayed decisions. Everything's going to be transparent. Everyone's going to be clear to everyone. You're not going to get these decisions that seem to go in favor of a team because they're, quote unquote, a great team, and they're getting these calls. These referees are biased. These refs are paid off, all this stuff. And in 4 or 5 years of VAR being fully implemented in these leagues, I feel like it's been the opposite. I feel like the big teams get benefited more and more and more. And it's just insane. And, I am a supporter of a big team like Real Madrid. But I love my Wolves. So I'm speaking as a Wolves fan right now. Like, what the fuck was that against Liverpool? You look at it from any angle that are circling around on Twitter, on the internet, and there's no way that wasn't offsides. There's no way. The delay on the offsides call was like too big in my opinion. Like, it definitely, there's conspiracies going around about the ref giving the sideline ref a signal to raise his flag, call offsides. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that conspiracy, but like, I do see the motion. So, who's to say that's not true? Also, I think the Nunes offsides is circumstantial. I don't think that's what the ref was originally raising his. I don't think that's what he originally raised his offsides flag for. I think he raised it for Totti, the guy who scored the goal. And then when it became evident that he was onside and they wanted the offside to stick, they were like, "Oh, but Nunes over there, like, we can't see that. We can't see him in that camera angle." And like, that's why he raised his flag, and we can't confirm that he is onside, so no goal. When like the Nunes play was way at, like, if he's calling offsides for that should have been called like as soon as it hits Huang's head. Like, Huang's head kicks it back towards Nunes. He gets it. Like, raise your flag at that point. Like, there's not really an imminent chance of goal at that point. The ball is kicked out wide. If you think it's offsides, call it right there. But then, Nunes does like a cut, centers it, it falls on somebody, he kicks it, Totti backheels it. Totti and the Wolves start running away, start celebrating, and then he raises his flag. Like, what? Incredible. But, okay, the refs lagged it to call it. He did call, let's just say he did call the offsides on Nunes. VAR doesn't have the whole field available to them. There's not a camera that has that has Nunes on screen in their point of view, in their vision. What's the point of VAR? Like, who's running this system? Who's putting the cameras on the stadium? It's Anfield. It's not even like a 4th division team, 3rd division championship, League 1, League 2. It's a Liverpool, like the second most prominent team in the Premier League these last 5-6 years. City, Liverpool, the two mainstays, the two protagonists in the Premier League, in English football. They're the two protagonists these last 5-6 years. And you're telling me that Anfield doesn't have the full field available to be reviewed through VAR? What's the point of VAR? What's the point of VAR? And like, it's ridiculous. And like I said, when VAR got introduced, everyone was like, rip Real Madrid, rip Barcelona, rip Manchester United, rip Liverpool. There's going to be transparency. There's not going to be no more cheating. You're not going to get away with this. You're not going to get... And it just seems like it's the opposite. Big teams seems to get more favorable calls. Big teams never get their fouls reviewed. Big teams, if you push a big team player, automatic check. It's going to get checked. It's going to get checked. Just accept it. If it hits your hand, you're playing a big team, getting checked, most likely going to be a penalty. You did this against a big team, VAR is reviewing it. A big team does the same thing, VAR doesn't take a look. VAR lets it go. It's insane. And if that's how VAR is going to be run, and if VAR doesn't even have the full field available for their review, what's the point of VAR? Like, let's just leave it to the refs and get mad at refs. And that's how football was, and we accepted it. Like, refs make mistake, human error. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's kind of how you sucked it up back in the day. And not even that far back in the day, like 5-6 years ago. Ref fucked up. Humans aren't perfect. You know, it is what it is. Like, all right, the ref was bought. People were talking about that. Now it just seems like it's systematic. Now it's like, wait, the ref fucked up. The person running VAR fucked up. The league is definitely in it. Like, they want to help the big teams. They're like, it just, what was initially thought of as a system, as a product that was gonna help bring transparency and help eliminate these bullshit calls that help the big teams. It's now like, it's helping them even more. It's protecting the status quo. It's not letting small teams have a fair fight against these bigger teams, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting as a Wolves fan, and you know they're gonna probably give some whack ass explanation. Whatever explanation they give is gonna be bullshit. But like, if you just think about it, Anfield, home of Liverpool, most winningest team in England, prominent team this last 6 years, doesn't have the full field available to them for VAR. Like, what kind of shit are you in here? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. I was never a proponent for VAR, and now I just seem to be pulling my hair out pretty consistently with these VAR decisions. The lack of VAR when you need VAR sometimes, like there's not one weekend of football where I don't see people like, that didn't get checked, and it's usually, you know, a smaller team that doesn't get the checks, and then it's usually the big teams that get these iffy calls going against them. Let me not get started with Argentina and the World Cup. That's for another episode, not today. But yeah, VAR again, you know, leaves a sour taste in my mouth. What do you guys think? Have you guys enjoyed VAR? If you guys are fans of smaller teams, do you guys remember what I'm mentioning right now? Where it's like, rip Barcelona, rip Real Madrid, rip Manchester United, rip Liverpool. You know, VAR is gonna kill all you guys' cheating ways. And now you're like, damn, VAR is just helping them out more than the refs were back in the day. But yeah, I'm still very hot about that decision, and hopefully the Wolves are able to win at Molineux and eliminate Liverpool from the FA Cup. Lopetegui has done a great job taking over for Bruno Lage. So hopefully the Wolves stay in the Premier League. But good job for Lopetegui. I like him. I think he's gonna turn around the Wolves. So let's leave it at that. Let's leave on a good note. Shout out Lopetegui.